Hello, world and all who inhabit it. Am I too close?
Good, because I want to talk about boundaries. Something happened today, and this actually, I'm not really going to talk about that specifically because I just feel like that wouldn't be good. But it reminded me a lot of other things where guys. I've never had this happen with a woman. Guys have not respected my boundaries. The boundaries that you put up, the whole like there are guys who are nice, right? We can all agree on that. And then there are nice guys. And I have had the unfortunate experience, as I'm sure every female watching this knows, of being around guys who thought they were nice, but really just felt a sense of entitlement to you because they were nice to you, and therefore they're entitled to your time, they're entitled to your body, they're entitled to date you, even if you don't have any interest in that happening. And even if, you have been dating someone, that doesn't mean they're entitled to any of that. Entitlement's a big thing. Is it nice to spend time with the person you're dating? Yeah. Are you entitled to that? Gonna go with no. I have had this happen a few times in my life where you're talking to a guy and he seems great, and then he starts taking things just a little out of your comfort zone, just a little too far. You're not annoyed yet, but he texts you when you can't really talk to him, and you tell him, hey, I'm not really available right now. He says, oh, that's fine, and then he sends you 6 more text messages. Or he apologizes for texting you profusely, not just like a quick little, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were busy, but no, like, oh, I'm so sorry, like lamenting his sorrows to you. From there, you're like, it's not a very comfortable feeling because you want to be nice to this person. I mean, you're not a dick, but you also feel like you're like, well, this is making me kind of uncomfortable. We're not really close yet. We're not best friends. Maybe you haven't even gone on a date with this guy. And then, so you're nice about it. You say, hey, maybe don't text me at this time. I'm at work at this time. Or maybe, say, hey, maybe we should talk a little less. Or, you don't know how to respond to it. Sometimes you just don't reply because you're like, A, you're busy, and B, you may not have the energy to talk to them right now. Some people, again, I've never had this happen with a woman. It always seems to be a male thing. Some people take that pretty well and go, oh, you're busy. And then other people take that just really personally. And again, we have nice guys and we have nice guys. And this kind of person falls into the nice guy category. And I'm sure there are women who do this. I just haven't had it happen to me at the hands of a woman. Then at some point, they either ask you out, or at a certain point, you just don't want to take it anymore. You don't want to just sit there and say it's fine when it's not fine. And you've been trying to tell them nicely. You've been saying, hey, this isn't great. Hey, I'm not a fan of this. You've been trying to say it nicely. And no matter how many times you say it nicely, doesn't sink in. You lose your cool a little bit. You say, hey, this isn't okay. Or, hey, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to go out with you. I don't have those feelings for you. I have had, oh my gosh, so freshman year of college, there was this guy. He was a nice guy. Again, he was a nice guy to a point. He asked me out, and I told him I didn't have those feelings for him. And he wrote this whole long thing online and tagged myself and everyone else in our dorm in it about, like, how lonely he was and all these other things, and it made me feel like shit. And that's the kind of thing I'm getting at here. This emotional manipulation, I tried to address a problem politely, and you gave me no choice but to be not so polite about it, being followed by, well, like being cussed out, or, being screamed at, or that kind of thing, that kind of bullshit. That's where we get the nice guys. I also dated a guy for like a couple dates. It really wasn't a relationship last year. And when he did this thing when we were in the car together where I was driving back, and he like patted me on the head, and it was really weird. And I think I made the decision right then, honestly, like at the back of my mind. I was like, this isn't gonna work. And throughout the night that I was like, well, maybe just let it go. But throughout the night I kind of got confirmation that I wasn't feeling that kind of affection towards him anymore. And so a few days later, we were talking, and I finally told him that. He sent me like this long thing, like I think it was like a few long things, like lamenting his sorrow and all these other things. And like it's also like there was this other guy who I went on a date with and I did like, but I decided I didn't want to date due to an age difference. And he sent me these things about, oh, I would have driven here for you, oh, you would have been worth it, and all these other things. And I just want to clarify to any people out there who struggle with attachment, this is not how you handle rejection. You want to know how you handle rejection? A couple nights ago, a guy messaged me and was like, hey, I'm into BDSM, I'm a switch, I'm bisexual, and, I was wanting to get like a conversation going, tell me if you're not interested. And I straight up told him, I'm like, sorry, I'm not interested in any of that. I was suggesting her OkCupid. And you know what he did? He said, okay, cool, thank you for the suggestions. And he left it at that. It was not a big blow up thing. He didn't blow up on me about having a right to my time. He didn't blow up on me about having a right to my body. He didn't blow up on me about, oh, you would have been worth it. Oh, you were, or like say, or call me a slur. He didn't call me a bitch. He just said it was fine because I just straight up said, sorry, not interested. I think what you run into with nice guys is that you want to tell them from the beginning that you're not interested in what they have to offer, but you don't know how they're going to react because we live in this world, unfortunately, where if you're rude to a guy, you don't know how he's going to react. You don't know if he's going to react violently. You don't know if he's going to react kindly. You don't know if he's going to, you don't know. And that's I think that's another reason I've chosen to break up with a few people over text. And another reason why I don't want to, I want to be direct. But after what happened today, when I was direct with a person and they screamed at me and told me to grow up and all these other things, that's why we're not direct with nice guys. It's not because we don't want to be, it's because they're nice guys. It's because they are children. They act childishly in the face of the smallest rejection. Also, if you're nice about it, then they think it's okay to just keep doing the thing they're doing, even if, no matter how hard you try to make it clear that what they're doing is making you uncomfortable, you still get left with, oh, but I had good intentions. Oh, but I didn't mean it that way. Oh, but. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to trample somebody's boundaries and then claim that you're the victim. And that's why nice guys finish last. Men can be great, but I have had the displeasure of interacting with some not so great men. Here's the part where I tell you to subscribe for more vlogs. And I mention that the separate channel for my horror stories isn't live yet, but it will be. And I wish all of you a good day.